the approval of the agenda. I need a motion and a second. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Arnold. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of the agenda, please. Voice vote, please. All say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There's none. Next is the Citizens Forum. Do we have anyone listed from the Citizens Forum? Next on the agenda is the Commissioners Forum. Do we have a commissioner that would like to speak? Commissioner Stokes?
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you to the sheriff. He was in a very lengthy meeting with us the other night, and I'm looking forward to more of those lengthy meetings and open dialogue and working through any issues that your department may have. Next thing I wanted to talk about was resolution number 15. When we discussed buying the Walmart building last year, I know it's kind of a contentious subject, but we worked with our oversight committee through their recommendation and through others. We purchased it. It's been recognized as an asset by our current mayor, and I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to use its sale to further our mayor's ambitions as well as Ms. Weekly's ambitions on getting some industry into our county. I do hope that we can look at another opportunity to have a civic center sometime in the future, but I think this is the responsible choice now. And then I just also want to say thanks for supporting our allocations that we're making with resolution number 18 for our respective water districts.
Commissioner Bain?
I just wanted to say that I had a nice visit with the sheriff and with Rochelle Hill, and I had took the tour through the sheriff's department, and I got enlightened by what I saw. A lot of good things, but a lot of needed things too. Mostly money. And if it goes on with a lack of employees there, that jail's going to shut down. We're going to be paying for prisoners to be housed somewhere else if they don't get the funding that they need. And if they lose any more employees, there's not enough. I saw that. I talked to the dispatchers. I talked to the jailers. And got a whole lot of information about what's going on there. And I really feel like I encourage you to go up there and see for yourself and talk to some of the employees there. You know, that they don't have, they're supposed to have 7 people there. Am I correct, Sheriff Christopher? And they only have 4. And it's not good. I mean, I know nobody wants to think about the sheriff's department until you need them. But, I mean, if we don't have a sheriff's department, who are you going to call? There's 9 Ghostbusters out here. I mean, you know, if somebody's breaking in your house, you're going to want somebody out there. Somebody's holding your mama kidnapped, you're going to want them out there. Somebody attacks the school and starts shooting up kids, who are you going to call? I mean, that's all I'm going to say. Go up there and find out for yourself, because I did. And I got facts and figures too. Thank you.
Commissioner Nunnery?
I'd just like to say a little something about that. Ms. Bain, I'm on the budget committee, and we had a terrible time this past year balancing the budget. This room filled up. You were one of them, not wanting us to raise taxes. And the reality is we cut the schools to the state legal limit with the cut. We cut the sheriff's department. We cut almost every division in the county. It has to come from somewhere. I wish we could fill the jail up with employees. I live in town, I have business and different things, I need the security as well, but reality is it's got to be paid for. And I know I and the other budget committee members would love ideas about how to fund it, because it's just not there. Without a tax increase, and none of us want that.
May I respond?
Yes, you may.
You say that we don't have the money. Who bought all that land out there in the flood zone and all that log cart? Where did that money come from?
I'm in total.
Who bought the Walmart building? We're buying up property, but we can't fund the sheriff's department. I'm sorry, I know I'm new, but I don't understand this.
I understand part of that as well. We have to place part of these companies, like the seniors and the ag center and some of those that we're gonna pay for with grants. The Walmart building, we're fixing to make money on it in the sale. The Lockhart building should have never been bought,
Agree.
but it is, and now we're trying to sell it or in the process of working towards that. So the reality is, at the end of the day, we have to figure out where the money comes from. Like I said, I'm not against giving money to the sheriff at all, but it's gotta come from somewhere.
Any other comments? Commissioner Fowler?
You know, I'll throw my 2 cents worth in here. The sheriff's department is lacking in finding employees. Is that correct, Sheriff? Is he in here? Yeah. It's, you know, we've got the money there for it, and I had a long discussion in law enforcement about how we can move some money from like 17, make it to 3 to give people raises. We've got to find people to work too. That's what a lot of the problem is. The sheriff does need a little bit more money for funding, for building, and for more officers, for being up to state standards and things of that nature, which I don't know much about it, but I do know our main concern is finding individuals to work. Yes, is pay a part of that problem? Yes, but we've offered a few different ways it could be done by dropping back from 21 maybe to 17. Did we talk about that?
We talked about it, Commissioner, but the problem is we don't have enough power.
Right, we don't have it, and that's what the problem is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if we need to get on 92.3 or 95.9 and say we need deputies or whatever. But I did a little research around. I called Carroll County, I called Johnsonville, I called Paris. You know, we're just going to have to find some way to get us some good qualified individuals working too. The money's there, but we just got to come up with a way to make it work and to draw people in. For employees, the monies are there.
Anyone else? Commissioner Arnold?
I don't know if anybody noticed, but I seen on Facebook that the governor has appropriated some money for safeties for sheriff departments, and I don't know if we've looked at any of the grant money that they're going to put out. I know the highway patrol, they're looking at hiring 100 new officers, and they're having the same trouble that the sheriff's having, finding people to fill those positions. But have we looked at what that grant or what they're going to put out, several million, 300 something million they're putting out to the local governments or something?
We're gonna, now,
Yes.
there's gonna be $100 million given to law enforcement. There'll be $1 million, my understanding, taking the two of the sheriff. There'll be $1 million appropriated to each county, and your larger counties will, of course, get a little bit more. But that money will be for put toward anything that could be used toward violent crimes, which I don't know what that's supposed to consist of. I don't know if they're going to give us a list or have the sheriff make up a list of what they're going to need. I would presume it would be mostly equipment. I don't know if it will go toward manpower or not. What I've done is contacted the other sheriffs, and we're trying to get together. You have to write this grant. And so we wanted to get together and maybe get a professional grant writer to write it for several of us to go in together on that, is what we discussed. I spoke with Henry County Sheriff, and I reached out to the Carroll County Sheriff. I haven't got back with him, and we were going to maybe see about all of us going in together on that. So Henry County has been writing their own grants, but they haven't had a lot of success with it. So that was a suggestion I made, and Sheriff Fry was on board with that. We would look and see if we could find somebody we could all agree on. And I think it would be money well spent. Hopefully that would, it's not going to limit us too much on what we can and can't get, but that would be huge for us. It would, and then there's another grant out there, and I'm not familiar with it. I just heard about it yesterday, and that may be one that you're talking about. There's going to be several more $1 million put into it, but I don't know what it consists of at all, and I haven't been able to get a hold of Jeff Bledsoe, who is the director of the Sheriff's Association. I wasn't able to reach him today to see if he knew more about it, but I wanted to have more information to bring to you tonight. But I know there is some grants out there. The problem is, I think we're missing it, and Commissioner Fowler mentioned it. There's money there for the amount of officers that we have, if we can get those officers. The problem is, even if we get those officers, FBI, and I brought this up several times, has stated how many officers we're supposed to have in this county. It's according to the geographics, according to the population, according to past crime rates, and what's come up with Pike over the last couple of years with fentanyl, things like that that are up in the risk out here. So we haven't increased the number of officers in this county in over 20 years. We've still got the same amount of officers. And if you look back over the record, I've asked for officers every year since I've been in because of the shortage. We all know that crime has went up over the last 20 years tremendously, and the drugs and the things that we're dealing with now is went way up. So we obviously can't handle it with the same amount. Things that you used to send one officer to Danville or to Sugar Tree, and you felt safe sending him by yourself, you can't do that anymore. You don't even want to stop a car out here at 2 o'clock in the morning unless you've got a backup somewhere halfway close to you. I just don't feel like with the number of officers that we have, we can properly service this county. And we was laid out more maybe like Henry County is more squared up. You can sit in the middle and you're pretty close. You take Benton County and you got 63 miles from one end to the other, a crooked road. So it takes a while to get there. I had a call, today. We had a call, let me give you this one. Y'all probably have seen it. Middle of the day, a man broke into a house. The man seen it on his security cameras, on his phone. He called us. He was giving us play-by-play of what he was doing. Middle of the day. This was last week. And the boy finally seen the cameras because the man probably should have done it. Started talking to him. And he was telling him, hey, I called the law. They're on the way. Get out of my house. So the guy starts knocking the cameras down. The closest officer I had, this was up on Miller Road, up almost to the county line going into Decatur County, about 2 miles from Sugar Tree Post Office. I was the closest officer to respond from the office. And when we got nearly there, they said, we've lost the connection now. He's just knocked down all the connections to, they lost service. I was about 30 seconds away. But when I pulled in up there, the time we got the delay of dispatch giving it over to us from what he was telling them, we're probably talking a minute. He set fire to the house, burnt the man's house up, and took off. So we sent officers in every direction and called him to Sugar Tree truck stop, or Sugar Tree post office, pulled in there and got him without incident. He's out of California. We're not sure exactly why. He thought he was in Antioch, Tennessee, and was looking for an old girlfriend. When he got there and couldn't find her, he just set fire to the house. Took a bottle of rubbing alcohol, poured it on the bed, and set it on fire, according to what he's telling us, because she wasn't there. That's the kind of stuff we're dealing with. My response time, I think, was like, I don't even remember. I want to say it was 20 minutes. A lot can happen in 20 minutes. If they get a family in there, anything could have happened. I just don't feel like, even if we had, counting myself, we had the 21 officers, we are not adequately taking care of the people in this county. And I'm with you, Mr. Dunning. I don't know where the money's going to come from. I really don't know. We're a small county, we're a poor county, and I'm not complaining about the budget and the way it's done. What I'm saying is, I want to do my job. The people in this county supported me very big to say that we believe you'll do your job, and I'm going to do my job. But I can't do it if I don't have the manpower and equipment. And so I won't go on and on about this, but that's the kind of calls we're getting. The call yesterday was all the way down at Danville. The lady thought somebody was breaking in on her, and we thought something had happened to her. We got her on a 911 call, and then we couldn't reach her anymore. I was 20-something minutes from where I was at, and I was the closest one. Everybody else is in court all day. We had 3 courts going today, and we have court at least 2, 3, sometimes 5 days a week. That takes everybody we got off the street. They've got court cases, and it leaves me and maybe one more to get out and answer calls in this entire county, which leaves it wide open for people to thieve, move drugs, do whatever. But we've got to have some help. I'm sorry,
Sheriff,
I
that's
didn't mean to
okay.
take up so much time.
Yeah, let's get back on track. I think Commissioner Arnold, are you wanting to speak? Okay, anyone else? Okay, that's our Commissioners Forum. We'll move on to number 4 on the agenda. I'm going to recognize Mayor Ward. He's got some things that he wants to share with you.
I guess first of all, I'd like to do a proclamation. If Nikki could come forward. Is Nikki here? We have a proclamation that we're declaring October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We've already given this award to her, but I wanted to make it a matter of record for the County Commission for it to go in the books. And I've also got her a framed copy of that, so give me just a minute and we'll get that to her. Hey, this is the microphone if you want to speak.
I do. Thank you, Mayor Ward, and thank you to your office. And I want to thank the county commissioners for taking the time to add this to the agenda today and for your continued support. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. There's extra copies. I will leave it here until the picture. She's with RAP, and RAP does a great job of this. Do you want to tell a little bit about what RAP does?
Sure. So RAP is a nonprofit organization that provides free and confidential services to victims of domestic or sexual assault. So we have one advocate in every county, and we work well with the courts, with the sheriff's office, with law enforcement, the DA's office. We provide a lot of services. We provide housing, we provide safe homes, court accompaniment, hospital accompaniment. It's just a wraparound service to meet them where they are and provide whatever they need. So I appreciate it. This means a lot to me. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I've got a gentleman, his name's Aaron Ray, and I want him to give y'all a little rundown. Stephen touched base on us selling the Walmart building, and that's something I'd like to ask y'all to really consider. I feel like going forward, the money that we have allocated for that project and the offices that it's going to put in the county, that would be better served to take that money, put the offices elsewhere that we can do for a whole lot less, and then use the extra money that we have for industrial recruitment. Jennifer Wheatley's going to talk to y'all next month, just before the November meeting, about what all is going on in Benton County and what all is going on in West Tennessee with the Blue Oval. And it's very exciting. I'm excited about it. I just don't want our hands to be tied with county offices and us not be able to get on board with the Blue Oval and get a few jobs in here for Benton County. We're setting perfect. 88 miles from the Blue Oval. We have interstate, we've got waterways, we've got rail. There's no reason we can't get 4 or 5 industries in here over the next couple of years. We're getting RFIs almost every day from companies that are looking for a location on I-40. So if we could move forward, and when I say to move those offices from the projected Walmart, I'm for everything that was going to go out there. We've got the money to make that happen. The Senior Citizen Center, the TCAT classrooms, the Ag Extension Office, maybe moving that in with some other offices. We've got the money to make that happen, and we'll still come out money ahead if we do that here locally, and that'll free up money where we can recruit industry and buy some land for some industrial lots. So I just ask y'all to get with me on that. I've got Aaron. Aaron, if you want to come up, he's going to make a little presentation. Just to let y'all know, this is Aaron Ray. He's the gentleman that's looking at buying the Walmart building, and I wanted him to meet y'all and give you a little rundown about what he does and what he wants to do.
she goes.
Jennifer just has a quick statement for you guys. I know that she's meeting to give y'all the rundown. One of the main things I want to do as mayor is keep y'all informed. I want everybody to be on the same page, know what's going on, understand what's happening on every side, because, you know, she's out there doing industrial recruitment and all that. We don't ever hear from her, so I want her to come up and let y'all know what's going on. We all need to know what's going on because we're the ones making the decisions for the county. So Jennifer.
Good evening. If y'all don't mind, I'll stand back here. I feel like I've got my back to you up there. If you are willing, next month, the industrial board would like to feed you supper at 5 o'clock in the smaller courtroom across the hall. And then about 5:30, do a presentation as to what we've been up to. I have been working since February, and I'm a joint employee of the county and the Industrial Development Committee. And we get questions sometimes, and you are always welcome to come to my office and us talk about it. But we'd like to do a presentation of the kinds of requests for information we've received, and who's looking at Benton County, and what they'd like to see, and the ones we've lost, and the ones we're still chasing. So we'd love to feed you supper, and then talk for about a half hour before your meeting starts next month, November the 21st at 5 o'clock. If you'll come across the hall, we'll have some food, and then we'll talk a little bit about what's going on. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mayor? Okay. We'll move on to number 5 on the agenda, is the approval of the minutes. But we weren't aware that we didn't get our minutes from last month in our packet, so we can't approve those.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to table it till next month.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, a second by Commissioner Hicks to table the approval of the minutes until next month. They've not seen them, so they can't vote on them. Yes. We have to vote to table it. Okay, yes, we need a motion. Yeah. Are you okay now? Okay. Yeah, it's okay, Kenneth Miller. The motion was by Commissioner Keene, and the second was several commissioners. Yeah, but you can use Miller. Yeah.
Miller was
Second. Terry Keene. Okay, so we got it now? Okay, all in favor of tabling this, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote?
Okay, motion carries. Number 5 is the report of the public utilities. I need a motion and a second. We have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Hall to approve the Board of Public Utilities report. All in favor? Vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Okay, we're down to our resolutions for the night, so we'll start out with Resolution 1 is to appoint Rochelle Hill to fulfill an unexpired term on the Solid Waste Board. Have a motion by Commissioner Hicks and a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions? I see none, so everyone vote, please.
Anyone wish to change their vote? 15 yes, 1 no. Motion carries.
Number 8 on your agenda is a resolution to appoint John Beasley to a 3-year term on the Industrial Board. I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions?
Madam
Commissioner
Chairman,
Keene.
is John here?
Yes, he is.
Can you come up, please?
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
Good. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is John Beasley. I'm born and raised in Benton County. I been employed with the city of Camden, with the water department for the past 20 years. I think this month marked my 20-year anniversary with the city. For the past 6 years, I've been superintendent with the water department. But I'm excited about the opportunity to work with Mr. Jennifer at the industrial board and the rest of the board members. There's a lot of exciting opportunities out there right now. I know Mayor Ward has spoken about that recently. There's a lot of good opportunities for Benton County, and I would love to be able to participate in that. And I've got an open door policy. I'm always available to answer questions. Come by the office at City Hall. I'll be glad to meet with any of you guys and talk to you about any projects that are going on.
I would like to say that he adds a lot of knowledge about water and wastewater, and we need that on the industrial board. That's why I chose him. I think that he'll be a huge asset to the industrial board.
I've got some pretty good background when it comes to environmental compliance issues, permitting requirements for large industries, capacity requirements for water and sewer. So I think I'll be a good help on that part. But I'm looking forward to it, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, if there's none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 9 on your agenda was a resolution from the Sheriff's Department, which he has pulled, and we have replaced that with another resolution that we'll bring up at the end of the meeting. So we'll move on to number 10. Is a resolution to budget funds received by the Benton County Sheriff's Department.
Resolution 4, correct?
Yes. Okay. Now, number 10, which is resolution number 4, is to budget funds received by the Benton County Sheriff's Department from the 24th Judicial Drug Task Force in the amount of $1,500 for Deputy Chris Hatley's salary supplement. I have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Hicks. Do we have any questions for the sheriff?
I have a motion to amend.
Any questions? Okay, I see none, so everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 11 is a resolution to budget $2,590 in funds received by the Benton County Sheriff's Department from fees to miscellaneous expenses. I have a motion by Commissioner Hicks and a second by Commissioner Douglas. Any questions? If none, please vote.
I did have a quick question.
Okay.
What is the sale of property? What did we sell?
Which one are you on, sir?
On the resolution number 5, it
101.
says sale of property.
Yes, the sale of property was old cars that we had brought in. We were picked up on the side of whatever had been awarded to us. They was just junk. We sold them for scrap.
Any other questions? I think we've all voted now, so. Madam Clerk.
We're still waiting for people.
Okay. Any,
Brett Byrd. Wayne Fowler. Bill Melton. Anyone wish to change your vote? 15 yes and 1 no. Motion carries.
number 12 is a resolution to allow the sheriff to dispose of an item of property, which is an old double oven, at his discretion. We have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Price. Any questions about the oven? I see none, so please vote.
Wayne Fowler.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's, we talked a little bit about that, maybe instead of selling them for scrap and stuff of that nature, could we put them in the auctions like what the county's having, or is these items that that don't need to be auctioned off to maybe get a little more money. I mean, as a body shop, I mean, if there's no scrap car or something, we can use parts, probably give you more for it than, you know, what scrap metal we kill or something of that nature. Do we do that, or?
Some of these cars have been sitting there since, on kind of oven.
Yeah, oven or cars and everything. How did you talk to me? Well,
Some
let's
of those
speak on
cars
the
have
cars.
been sitting there since before I was sheriff. I mean, that was just.
I don't,
Cars, things like that, we got rid of.
I don't know if the law's changed on it or not, but I think that everything that's gonna be sold that's county property needs to be turned over to the county board as surplus property and then have an auction, whether it be through internet auction or with the highway department or the sheriff's department. But that scrap stuff, who knows what it's worth? If you have an auction, you might get a whole lot more for it. I don't know who you got to sell it or all that, but I think it's in Tennessee code that you're supposed to declare it surplus property. So the people that are actually buying that stuff at full price, you don't, like this oven, so they'll know when all that stuff's getting sold and maybe what it's worth.
Would it be possible that we take all of that then down to the old highway department and get it out of our way? That was the reason to get rid of it. We don't have any room.
I would say declare it surplus property and move it down there so we'll have it inventoried and then we'll have an auction when we need to. I don't have a problem with that.
Michelle handles that side of it, so.
Sir, when it comes to abandoned or impounded property, that is not classified as surplus property because we don't actually own it. We do our due diligence, we try to return it to the owners, but if that's unsuccessful, at some point it does have to be removed. Now the oven and patrol cars and anything that's actual sheriff's department property, yes, always gets declared surplus property and then disposed of per the county commission's.
I think you kind of misunderstood where I was going with that. I think we'll get more money out of it if you just declare it surplus property and let the county sell it. It'll still come back to y'all. If the sheriff declares it surplus property and we sell it, then that money will come back to you. I just think that's the process it's always been.
No, sir. In order to declare abandoned or impounded vehicles surplus property, we would have to title it first and take ownership of it. Abandoned or impounded vehicles that need to be disposed of are simply not surplus property, and they won't be unless there is a case where we seized a vehicle from a drug dealer, it was awarded to us, and instead of disposing of it,
Is the property county property when y'all sell it?
No, sir.
It's not county property when y'all sell it?
No, sir.
So how can y'all legally sell it?
Diligence disposal of abandoned or
Okay.
impounded light.
I'm just trying to help y'all get more money is all I'm saying. You'll get more money at an auction.
I understand the classification of the
I understand that. But if y'all can sell it however you are selling it, it looks like we could auction
You know, sometimes when we get some at the title, I mean, scrapyard sometimes will take a vehicle unless you got a title for it or something of that
Well,
nature.
we always have the correct paperwork to dispose of it, either through the due diligence process or the court proceedings. The correct paperwork is always with the vehicle.
it. Okay, well, thank you.
Whichever way y'all want to do it, but if you do want us to sell it different from what we're doing, I would ask if we could take it and move it from out behind the sheriff's office, and from this point on, everything we have towed in, put it down there.
Yeah, because if that's from the previous administration, that's probably 10 or 12 years that's been sitting there taking up your space.
Oh, yeah, some of it has been, I mean, it was rusted down, but the motors was locked up, maybe they blew up on the intersection, they were full wrecks, just got drug in that nobody claimed. We run it in the paper, do our due diligence, and nobody claims it. She does the paperwork on it, and it's in the state. We're just trying to clear it out, we have some rooms back there.
Gotcha.
But part of the reason for putting the fence up back there was so that we could charge storage fees on the ones that we can. These others, they just sit there and they wind up getting awarded to us like they do at the body shops and the record services and stuff. The insurance company don't want to pay that, and you just wind up getting paid.
Good deal.
Commissioner Arnold? Okay. Anyone else? So we're back to resolution number 6, which is to dispose of the double oven. All in favor?
It's gotta be amended, because it's, talking about disposing of the sheriff's discretion, we gotta amend that.
Well, that's up
That
to,
can go into
Or you want to amend it and so it will be surplus property?
I think that's proper, and I think that we should go by the rules. It may be,
Wouldn't a law enforcement committee come back recommendation or recommending it as surplus property, then we approve it?
normally.
I think that would be the way.
Property would also be.
Yeah, property. would-
Hey,
we did.
you're the governing body, whatever y'all want to do on it. I'm just saying that we need to go by, I know when I was in the election commission for 13 years, if we just had a keyboard that the county had bought for us and we didn't want it anymore, we would have to declare it surplus property. And sometimes the commission would say throw it in the garbage because you know it's not going to be worth auctioning off, which is the case with most of it. But if it is something, I mean, that's just a procedure. I just want us to follow procedure.
Did another night in the property committee meeting that we declared that surplus property, or was that, we didn't discuss it?
Yeah, we didn't, we sent it on with that recommendation, I believe. And we talked about declaring it surplus property.
Well, it's up to the commission if you want to amend this. Then we'll need a motion and a second for an amendment.
Make a motion to approve it as a surplus property, put it in the county sale act.
I'll second it.
Okay, first I think we should declare it surplus and then sell it. We haven't declared it surplus yet.
He just said,
Surplus?
he just said to amend it to declare it surplus property.
Okay.
And then we'll get an auction.
You want it as amended to make it a surplus property to be put into an auction? Or how do you want to word it?
I think that's what we talked about doing.
Okay, do I have a second to Keith's amendment? Mhm. As an amendment.
Sure, if they don't stop you
No.
from selling it online, like
If we
you
amend,
are probably
then
going
we
to
have
do,
come back and vote again.
that just declares it surplus property where the commission knows what's going on with it.
The oven is the sheriff's surplus property. We just couldn't, we tried to have it repaired, they couldn't repair it anymore, so we got the new one. Just here we tried to take it apart, told the motors and stuff to bring more money, but we wasn't able to get it apart without taking it up.
Okay, what we need to do first is we have to vote on the amendment that Keith made. So now we're voting on the amendment. If you're in favor of the amendment, vote.
Anyone wishing to change your vote? Motion carries. Amendment 16.
Now we will vote again on this resolution as it was amended. As amended, to make it surplus property. All in favor of the resolution as it was amended? Oh, are y'all waiting on me?
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries. 16. That's
Okay, number 13 is a resolution to budget $52,680 in funds received by the Board of Education from the Safe Schools Grant to miscellaneous expenses. I have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Kenningston. Any questions? Okay, there are none, so everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries. 16 yes.
Number 14, resolution to budget $13,803.89 in funds received by the Benton County Schools from Gordon Food Services to food supplies. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Arnold. Any questions? There are none, so please vote.
Motion carries 16 yes.
Okay, we're moving on to number 15, is a resolution to budget $1,143.09 in miscellaneous refunds received by the Board of Education from the federal ELC grant for supplies purchased in July for the clinic to building improvements. I have a motion by Commissioner Hicks and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions? I see none, so please vote.
Carrie Carr. Anybody wish to change your vote? 15 yes, 1 no, motion carries.
Number 16, resolution to budget $103,955 in funds received from the School Resource Officer Grant by the Board of Education to SRO funds. We have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Price. Okay, we have some questions. Commissioner Hicks, you're recognized.
Yeah, this is quite a bit of money. Are we looking to try to add another?
I'm not aware. Do you want to answer that, Mr. Florence?
I mean, I'm all for it.
Okay.
I apologize. I usually can speak from my seat, but I can't hardly talk. That $103,000, Mr. Hicks, is the state for the last 3 years has had an SRO grant that if we hired new SROs, that they would fund those. That grant ended this past year, but there's $103,000 that we have not used, and we could use that based on, we said we had 4 positions open from last year. So if the city of Camden or the sheriff's department could find an SRO, we would have $103,000 to fund them just this year. This grant ended June of 2022, but they allowed us to carry over. So if you did hire those, we would definitely have to find a way to sustain that in the future. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions while Mr. Florence is up here? Okay, thank you, Mr. Florence. If there are no more questions, everyone please vote.
Carrie Carr. Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 17 on the agenda, resolution to approve a budget amendment to budget $80,000 in funds from the fund balance in line items into the school food service budget to offset an underestimation of expenditures. I have a motion by Commissioner Hicks and a second by Commissioner Douglas. Any questions about this one? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 18, resolution to budget $16,235 in funds received from the federal grants indirect cost funds by the Board of Education to the Office of Superintendent. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Hall. There's no questions, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 19, resolution to approve a budget amendment to budget $30,000 in funds from the fund balance to special education and other contracted services to offset an underestimation of expenditures. We have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Kenningston. No questions, please everyone vote.
change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 20, resolution to declare designated items of the airport property surplus property for the purpose of public sale and allow the airport to retain proceeds from this sale. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions? Okay, if there's none, please vote.
Wayne Fowler? Anyone wish to change your vote? 16 yes. Motion carries.
Number 21 is the resolution to give the Benton County Mayor approval to negotiate the sale of the property at 190 Highway 641 North in Camden, the old Walmart building, with final approval required by the Commission of any deal reached. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Price. Do we have any questions? Okay, there are none, so please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 22 is a resolution to transfer $1,000 in funds within the mayor's budget for the compensation of the mayor's office newly appointed first deputy. We have a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions for the mayor about this? There are none, so please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 23 is a resolution to approve transfer of American Rescue Plan Act, which is ARPA funds, to designated recipients, which are the City of Camden and the Town of Big Sandy. We have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Price. Anyone have any questions about this resolution? Since there are none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Number 24 is a resolution to approve transfer of American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds, to designated recipients. Benton, Decatur Special Sewer District, North Utility District, and Harbor Utility District. We have a motion by Commissioner Hicks and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions? Okay, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? 16 yes. Motion carries.
Next is number 22, which is the appointment of notaries. I've got them here, let me find them. We have 8. Bronte, Alyssa Wright, John Whitworth, Donna Bowers, Tanya Bates, Angie Blackburn, Mary Dale Robinson, Jennifer Hedge, and Kayla Smothers. I have a motion by Commissioner Hicks and a second by Commissioner Arnold to approve the notaries. No questions, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? 16 yes. Motion carries.
Next is any other business before the commission tonight before we adjourn. Commissioner Nunnery.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to handle number 19 and 20.
Okay, we have a motion to suspend the rules tonight so that we can bring Resolution 19 and 20 to the floor. We have a second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor of the suspension, please vote.
Very far. You should change your vote. Motion carries. 16 yes.
Okay, we'll move on to Resolution 19. Has everybody got a copy of 19 and 20? Okay, number 19 is a resolution. Whereas the overtime pay line within the jail's budget was severely underfunded for the fiscal year and has already been depleted, and it will be necessary to transfer funds within the jail's budget in order to complete the fiscal year. I need a motion and a second before we vote on this.
Madam Chair, is that a two-thirds?
No, it's a transfer within his funds. Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Hicks and a second by Commissioner Price on Resolution 19. Are there any questions for the sheriff? Okay, since there are none, please vote to approve it or not approve it.
Red flag. Wish to change the vote. Motion carries 16 yes.
Okay, Resolution 20. Okay, this is a resolution for Mayor Ward to sign the lease with the Benton County Girls Softball Association.
Yeah, it was brought to my attention that that lease expired in August. I have a copy of their insurances where they're good, and I was just wanting y'all's permission to sign the lease for one more year so they can carry on exactly as it was before. There's no words changed in the lease at all, just the dates. And I do have a copy of both of their insurance policies here through Porch, Dribbling, and Webb if anybody needs to look at that.
Any questions about the lease? Okay, Commissioner King.
Mayor, has the county attorney looked at the contract to make sure that it's good? Can we do that before it's signed?
I tell you what, you can do anything you want to. It don't matter to me as far as putting it off till next month if you have to, but I just didn't want us to have any undue liability there until I realized that their lease had expired, because they're holding insurance on a complex that they don't have a lease on right now. But if you want him to look at it before I sign it, everyone on the lease for the ballparks has signed it. They're just waiting on y'all's approval and for me to sign it. So if you want him to look at the validity of it and if it's a good contract, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Is there any changes from last year?
None.
Okay.
But y'all can put that in there as an amendment if you want to, and Mr. Melton will look at it before I sign it. And if there's a problem, we'll bring it back to y'all next month. But if there's no problem, however y'all want to handle it.
Okay, Mr. King.
I think from now on, I think the mayor should be looking at them, the county attorney ought to be looking at our contracts before they come before us, so
I agree.
I'd like to make sure we do that.
There's a lot of things that's going to be coming up next month that I wasn't aware of, just like this. We have a lot of boards that are expired, members that are expired. Nothing got really done on board appointments for the last 2 years. So I'm finding out when I'm looking at that we have a lot of expired boards. So I'll be getting that to y'all this next month. But anything like this, as long as I know in advance, it wouldn't be a problem. But I just didn't feel like we needed them out there holding insurance on a building that they don't have possession of legally.
So are you okay with moving forward?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we had a motion by Commissioner Arnold and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any other questions about the lease? Okay, if there are none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 16 yes.
Do we have any other business that anybody wants to bring to the floor right now before we adjourn? I'd like to make an announcement that tomorrow night, the Oversight Committee meets at 5 o'clock up here. If any of you would like to come and sit in on that meeting. And don't forget about our meal that the Industrial Board's going to serve us next month. I'll send out an email and remind everybody about that so that you don't forget. Anything else?
I just thank everybody for putting your trust in me, and we'll move forward. Hopefully, everything will be great.
Okay. Anything else? And do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion by Commissioner Arnold. Second. Fowler. That's all in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Or motion to adjourn is approved. Oh.